Hi guys, it's Tarkin coming back at you with another replay of A Clash of Kings 7.1. And, well, picking up where we left off. King's Landing, under siege by the Dornish. We're going to wait. Hope that we can get at least one night of training done. Hopefully two. And, our Iron Bank account not tapped out, but much diminished. But, alright, we've got some veterans and elites now, not as many as I would wish. And at least all of those levies are men-at-arms, which are going to be just considerably better than levies at fighting. And we're going to go ahead and give all those men-at-arms there, take all the levies out. And if we're lucky, get one more round of training before the assault happens. Now, the Dornish, of course, have mounted archers, which means their archers are going to show up very high in the pecking order, being considered like the cavalry and the knights. And because of that, we're going to be seeing them immediately on the battlefield. They're going to immediately be killing our archers. And Maidenpool under siege by the Riverlands. Man, this is a bad series of events. But, all right. In a good twist of fate, though, we do get that second round of experience. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade these men-at-arms and run very low on the coins that we're carrying around. But of course, we do have our bank in with the Seneschal with our personal treasury. And that will just absolutely have to do. And we're going to go ahead and hopefully have a successful defense here of King's Landing. It could, of course, go either way. If we get extremely lucky and have another round of experience from training, we'll stop, jump inside, get the money that we need. It might take that long for them to attack, but I just do doubt that that'll be the case. But we will see in just a few seconds. Yes, there we go. Okay. Can definitely feel a little better about this now. Apparently you can get about 3 full rounds of training out of it. You inspect the treasury. Have 69,000 coins in there. We're going to withdraw a big chunk. And then we're just going to go ahead and tell them that we just wanted to check the documents and go ahead. Leave the sergeants at sergeant, I think. And, well, all right, yeah, 38 veteran men-at-arms up from those levies. So pretty excellent. And now I think we're entirely divested of levies, which makes me feel much better about our prospects. Of course, men-at-arms and veteran men-at-arms are not a ton better, but they are better, and they will be noticeably more efficient on the battlefield. Or at least that is what I'm hoping and what I am staking my fortunes on. And we're just going to wait here for some time and see what happens when the Dornish make their way in, or see if something happens to them and they are dissuaded. Because, of course, we do have allies, but no one is coming to save us. We've got 518 against the enemy's 894. Sir Moore's Manwoody is here. We're not going to negotiate with the besieger. We're not going to choose who will join us in battle. We're just going to join the battle and see whether or not we're going to make it. Now, what we have been doing where we run down that side is not going to be safe anymore. Due to these Dornish archers. Where I'm standing right now is not safe either, come to that, and I really shouldn't be here. I should be moving, but I just had too much of a dream. And every second that I stand here is another one that I might just die from those archers on the far side. And I'm not even sure that I'm getting any damage here. Yes, I am. There we go. It's like I feel like this angle, though, is a rare opportunity to get some shots in. So we're just going to shoot them in the back as long as their backs are turned, and then whenever we have to, we'll reorient. And we're just going to hope that our archers are going to do counter archery well enough, because I don't have time to deal with those mounted archers out there. I have to deal with these huge amounts of knights. And hopefully this will work out. And now those archers up in front of my walls, though, that is quite a trouble for me. But now, not going to be able to worry about that for too much longer, as they are at the gates already. And my troops shooting, them shooting at us, and now going to go ahead and pull out the halberd and go to town. And there is Lord Tremond Gargalon. What a name. Lord Tremond Gargalon. Taken out. And my one companion down low is interrupting so many of their hopes and dreams. But now, of course, he's been knocked out, and that archer is trying to kill me. But it's not going to happen. Not to me this time, from that archer anyway. And we're going to go ahead, move back, and get some kills in. I have 10 arrows left. I don't want to fire the last few. I shouldn't have even fired those, probably. But I'm going to go ahead and try and pick up some... Is there a pincushion area yet? Yes, here's a nice pincushion. Getting back up to 12, and going to go ahead and run out, or not. And what I'll do instead is kill these lancers, or archers, whichever they happen to be. Whoever's visible. Dornish knights. They go down a lot easier than some of our other enemies might have, but it'll be alright. And it looks like a lot of our archers on that other side of the wall have already been knocked out by their early attempts at breaking in, but we're just going to have to rise above it. And alright, yeah, definitely glad we saved that arrow. And I'm going to save just one more, pick up a couple bodkins, and it's bodkins, going to make a fight of it. Not finding any more corpses over here, which is of course very gratifying. And I don't want our companions to get knocked out this early, but I'm not going to pull them back either. I think maybe they should be at the forefront, that way our archers will get to live for as long as possible. And now the moment of truth arrives, as a whole lot of men are here, and oh boy, that was a dude throwing javelins. Fortunately though, he was not paying attention to me, but he could well have been, and that would have been the end of me. And doing just what I said I didn't want to do, and using my last arrow, picking one up at the cost of maybe my life. Should have been more careful, shouldn't have moved that far forward, but that's okay now, I hope, as they are moving in for this combat right on me, and it looks like my infantry, oh yeah, getting carved up. Gonna need to evade this big time. We're in trouble now. They're inside, and it looks like most of my troops up here are just longbowmen. We're at that phase already, and that's bad news for me against these Dornish adversaries. But we're just going to have to do what we can, not moving an inch, but until we see that archer there, oh man, that would have been so bad. Would have taken one right to the head, gotten knocked out, but there's a mounted archer taken down. And here are quite a few more kills. And what I need to do is finish up these foes so that I can move forward and reposition my troops. But can't do that until we've cleaned this up and fallen down, not taking any damage, however, which is good. But if we don't get moved out of this pretty soon, then they'll be back inside the wall. And, of course, at that point, it'll be much harder for me to reposition and save these remaining archers, which is just what we have going on now. But right now, almost going down, going to be able to go ahead and evade this, I hope. There we go. And having no choice to reposition, going to go ahead and move the archers down low for now. We will pull them out of there if we can, but that's better than where they are now. And so many levies and trash groups up here, and falling down, oh no, and managing to block a couple of strikes. But we are in dire straits here, of course. But we just have to believe in our the efficacy of our troops and in our gumption, basically, because if not, we are going to be taken prisoner. The Dornish are not known to be particularly kind in those scenarios. But with all of those spearmen paying attention to somebody else, basically, we're going to be able to live to fight another day. I'm going to pull the archers back, and we're going to go ahead and try to retreat here on the wall as much as possible. And can I get these 2 quivers, 3 quivers? All right, good deal. And now we're just trying to back everybody up. It doesn't look like it's working. It looks like too many of them are stuck right here, not believing in my orders. Please, please, for the love of everything, guys, back up. Don't stay there and die. But it looks like they are not going to hear my pleas, which is more than disappointing. It is disastrous. But, of course, we're just going to make the best of it, as we always try to do. We still have some archers alive, apparently, and we're just getting our infantry all up in there. But a whole lot of losses all of a sudden, as the chaff is separated from the grain here, and we are definitely finding out the difference between the vets and the normal garbage troops here. But I just really need the troops to do what I'm telling them to do, and we'll be able to weather this storm. If not, maybe I can just get the archers up here on the wall, and that'll do something. But it's very depressing to have archers and nothing to do with them. But of course, oh wow, we've already killed 211 Dornish though, and while we have lost quite a bit, it should be all right in the long run. As of course we've dealt with the worst of our foes, and I should not have done that. I jumped right up in a perfectly visible space. Any archer can hit me, and any spearman will take a shot. But oh man, look at the killing done though. Able to get an angle on everybody, and rather than being cautious, just going full bore in, saying, no, you don't get to kill my troops today. No one gets to do that to me. And not taking a javelin shot somehow. I see so many skirmishers coming in, and that guy had me on his list. Wasn't able to deliver, and we're gonna... I should be backing up, but I'm not. I'm just going to stay here and continue on killing. This is the best thing that I can do, as long as they don't notice me. Oh my goodness, how do they not notice me? A total bloody wrecking ball, surrounded by corpses, and all of them on the ground, all of them falling. And now, looks like my time might be up. But no, a heroic veteran coming in over the wall to support me. Fantastic. And now they are in such bad shape. I still don't have my archers where I need them to be, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because we're able to deliver on the promise of our presence on the battlefield, which is just that if we're alive, if we're here, we will fall down and totally be exposed. Now, this is not exactly what I was talking about when I talked about delivering on the promise of the battlefield, but we might get away with it all the same. And you, dear listener, can definitely hear the disappointment in my voice whenever I made that misstep. But it looks like I might get away with it, and there we go. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going to be able to make my way back to the wall. But oh no, there are javelins to worry about contending with. But of course, we know in the Dornish army, when you see skirmishers, that means there's no more death. That means that's as far down as it goes. That means those are the danger. And it's past for those lords. So we're not going to back up. We're not going to give an inch. We're just going to stay here, continue on killing. And wow, okay, managing to, I think, make something of this. And our archers back on the wall, I hope, holding position in a good enough spot. And gonna just go ahead and move into position and try not to get shot, try not to die. That Westerlander meaning well, but stopping me from getting the strikes that I need to kill them before the reinforcements arrive. And there we go. There's the power of love and friendship. The Vanguard running further down than I want him to, though. But I think I can still defend him. There we go. Set him up, knock him down. He hits him like a baseball bat right into this threshing machine that is the halberd. And if I move any further forward there, I would fall off. So I'm just going to move back. Try and be more careful. And I see some archers. I have 50 arrows from all of those quivers being picked up, though, which I was not aware it was that many. But now, going to be able to transition in and just start shooting the hell out of the enemy. Of course, though, now that I'm shooting, they'll be shooting back, and they, importantly, have javelins. A javelin to the head will ruin my whole career. But we're not going to take that today. We are able to get a perfect angle in under the left arm of the shield there on the Dornish, and getting so very much work done with those 50 arrows we picked up, only shooting half of them thus far. And this is almost better than a halberd, of course. What we're going to do is go ahead and move back to the halberd. No, we're not. We're going to sit right here and shoot. And we should be able to not get shot at, I hope. But that guy trying to get a javelin off, it's the last thing we want. Yeah, this angle definitely not as good as the other. Going to go ahead and switch back to this more advantageous angle and just pay attention to make sure that no one is noticing me here on the side. And we've gotten away with so much in this fight. Oh my goodness. What absolute brutal showing here against the Dornish forces. And I think this might be the final wave. But even if it's not... Oh, okay, they are shooting at me now. They noticed me. Those archers far away definitely noticed me. But as we see, we have slain so very many of our enemies here. And we're going to go ahead and bounce off the walls from the siege. And if they want to continue, I'll be surprised. We lose a couple more in casualties there. But let's see what the damage is. 14 veteran men-at-arms gone. 4 sergeants killed and 2 normal men-at-arms killed. That's all that we took. Our men in the castle, though, we lost some armed villagers and peasants. Not too worried about that. Some Stormlander vanguard, that's worse. 10 longbowmen elites killed. The irreplaceable gold cloaks killed. 45. However, that is, of course, just what has to happen sometimes for you to hold a town. And we're going to be able to level up a lot of these guys to veterans, a lot of those veterans to elites. We're going to keep the sergeants right where they are, of course, rather than spending the coin to upgrade them to the vanguard, because I do like them having the shields for these defensive roles. And just a really, really rough time for us. So many of our troops direly wounded. I, of course, still have very fresh troops on the inside, though. I could pull out a whole mess of cavalry and, or rather a mild mess of cavalry. How many sergeants are unwounded? They've got to be here somewhere. Come on. We still got 12 unwounded sergeants. How many Dornish are left here on the field? Looks like Prince Oberyn Martell is the only one with a whole bunch of guys left. But I did not know he was here. I definitely don't want to go chasing them down when they still have their leader. It's just pushing it a little far for me. We're going to go ahead and pick up those normal longbowmen so that we can level them up a bit. And I'm not going to expect that they'll fight me again, but they very well may. So we're just going to go to the marketplace, pick up any bread and grain that we can get access to, and a nice little bit of pears. And just wait here for some time. And will that break the siege of King's Landing? It looks like it will. House Targaryen and the Stormlands have made peace. Wow, okay, it's about time. That's really going to let our faction do a lot of good as long as we don't find another war like with the Reach soon, which we very well could. But with the Targs against us, they're probably just happy that did they end up with our land? Yeah, they had Haystack Hall and Sharp Point to their castles. But of course, that's the only castle they had was Rainhouse for the longest time due to my machinations against them. And Pentos now has a foothold here. As the Associ start messing around with Westerosi politics in earnest. But what we're going to do is check out who is still sticking around. Looks like Dagos Manwoody, Oliver Ladybright, Julian Corgyle, a bunch of folks who really should know better. But we're going to go ahead and deposit the wounded. We're going to want some real longbowmen here, though. Alright, it looks like due to the mechanics, it won't let me get all of the longbowmen I want, so I'm going to have to pick up this stack this way and go ahead and oopsie-daisy. Do this the right way. Just gotta get used to the interface being a little clunkier. And with those 28 elite longbowmen with me now, and we're gonna go ahead and because you don't want to overstock your army. but of course understocking it is just as perilous. We're going to go ahead, grab those random sergeants, leave the heavy knights, but we'll take the Golden Company knight because he's kind of expensive for how good he is, in my opinion. But it looks like the heavy Stormlander knight is wearing just like normal heavy plate mail. Yeah, he's wearing the same chainmail as the Stormlander knight. We'll take a look at those loadouts here in a second. But the Westerlands heavies are, of course, pretty great. And Reach heavy knights are very, very strong as well. But we'll run out with about 90, and hopefully that'll be enough. Keeping in mind, of course, that it'll be just with my surgery skill, as my companions are still too wounded to take the field. But I think they have less than 100. Yeah, here we go. 5 enemies: Sir Ryan Illyrian, Oliver Ladybright, Julian Cargill, Dagos Manwoody, and Mars Manwoody against me. But it's 83 troops against 101, with my companions likely not fit for battle here. But I think no cavalry with which to contend, and only a lot of skirmishers, and of course, elite Westerland longbowmen make absolute mincemeat of Dornish skirmishers. And what we're going to do is set up right here, get a shield wall going on, cavalry and horses in the back, just for a little bit of security for them, and then of course whenever we need to open up with them, we will. I mean, we're looking now almost like a Lannister army, of course, with the shape of everyone's armor, but it looks like alright, like in fact they are not in the positioning that I thought they would be at on this battlefield. And I don't want to take this fight. We're going to back up and come in on them and see if we can get a different angle. This I like better, because of course it bears remembering that when you take a fight and you evaluate the terrain, decide you don't like it, you don't have to keep on fighting there. That is the opposite of what you should be doing. If you think that the terrain is not advantageous, you should be trying to get out of there. You should be trying to maneuver around, find a different place to engage, which is exactly what I'm doing here. But my archers can't see quite that far. Oh, yes, they can. And we'll just move them a little further forward here. And it looks like at least some of those guys don't have shields up, so if I just can drop in an arrow, it's probably even higher than I'm aiming right now. It is, of course, a very great distance. Maybe this will hit one. Yeah, I'm just spitballing here. But they, of course, want no part in charging at me, which is smart. However, they're not going to be able to resist whenever I come in a little bit closer. Oh yeah, that's so very far away. But now, let's see. Oh, come on. Why can I not hit anybody? There we go. There's at least a shot on a horse. There's an elite archer killed. He can't be so elite if he's not trying to shoot me. And there we go. They're not going to just sit here and get shot by one guy on a stupid horse all day. No, they will, though. They totally will, though. Because there we go. They come into view. And that's all that it takes for everybody else to open up. Getting a couple headshots. And now, time to get out of here. And, okay, there's a cav archer coming at me. We're just going to have a quick little cav archer battle and see who the better cavalry archer is. It's probably him. I'm missing all of these arrow shots, but it's a heroic and epic battle all the same. And now he charges right into my infantry. Nearly. Anyway. And that mounted Dornish archer, while not getting shot by me, does get killed. And we grab his quiver. in typical fashion. And it looks like some arrows coming in across the battlefield now, but it won't be enough, because it's mostly skirmishers, and they of course have a big problem with range, as it's just throwing weapons, and you can really take advantage of the fact that all the mounted cavalry and cavalry are gone. Of course, these guys are absolutely murderous as reinforcements, though. So when they spawn very close to you and you don't have the ability to run away from them quickly, it's just really, really hellacious. But what we're doing now is just wearing them further down. Their infantry will eventually get in front of them, but it might be too late for very many of those skirmishers to manage to survive. I wish I had some more arrows, but I wasted so many in the early phases of it. And right now, apparently, we're going to go ahead, move over this way, and either, yep. I was like, they'll either keep on moving towards me, or they'll get shot by our archers, which is exactly what we managed to bait them into doing. And I am not going to sit here and do anything stupid like charge at their skirmishers with my my halberd, but I am going to send my my cavalry at them. But I can't make them. I'm trying to make them attack the archery division, but charging them right in there and telling them to fight should be just as good. And there we go. And it is indeed approximately as good, but of course, in no time at all, the cavalry showing that they are not willing to follow anything with the most specific of orders, and forcing us to give a nice charge around. One of those cav gonna go above and beyond the call of duty, though, of course, and then will definitely get slain by the opponents on the far side of the battlefield if he doesn't get his act together and get back here soon. And a couple quick stabby stabs, making shorter work of our foes than they had planned, probably. They thought, I can get to the forest, that'll make me safe. But, you know, they were almost right. And now, running over one and going ahead, pulling back together, gonna go ahead and run up to the top of this hill here. And my archers might well be out of arrows at this point. It is probable enough that they are. Time to go to battle, everyone. Everyone, charge. And of course, my cavalry, largely undiminished by this point, we're going to evade these skirmishers as they try to fire, and now they should be trying to evade themselves. That's going to let us just run back and stab them in the head as they run away. Now, it's sort of difficult to use this thrusting motion with the halberd since the weapon reaches so long, but you just need to get your pacing right and your distance, and then it's not quite as difficult. But of course, if you're not in motion charging them down, it is definitely a little trickier to get them. But I have... Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I have some experience with that now, given that I have used the halberd so often. And just want to apologize once more for that. I don't really have any skills with video or sound editing, or I would take that out. Hopefully it didn't blow anyone's speakers. But we're going to go ahead and charge in here at the rest of our foes and be in a great position, unlike the Dornishmen who attacked us. And hopefully, of course, this is going to help us recoup some of our many losses. And it definitely looks like a good engagement because, of course, nothing wounded, nothing killed on my end. A fairly perfect tactical performance, but of course, with no enemy cavalry to contend with no true enemy archers to contend with, and with no enemy elite infantry to contend with, and just trying to make sure you stay out of javelin range, there's not too much to do to have what could be referred to as a perfect battle. But I'm not going to let that hold me down. And they all escape. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and capture some folk. And of course, although these troops aren't the absolute best, they are relatively free, so we're going to be able to grab them, put them into the castle. And we'll worry about trying to convert those prisoners later, as we don't need to be in a hurry for that or anything. And although I'm not crazy about the heavy Stormlander Knights, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to look at their gear loadout before we got out of here. So for perspective, a Westerlander Knight has a plated chainmail hauberk, 6330, and a normal chain helmet. Stormlander Knight has the same level hauberk and a Bergenet, so a little bit of a helmet and is much more stylish. The heavy Stormlander Knight, however, coming in, he's got a plated Brigadine as a possible loadout, which is terrible. That's, of course, much lower than even these plate armors, which are not that good. Although they do have lances and warhammers. Warhammers are quite nice. Whereas we know the heavy Westerlands Knight has full plate. And as a consequence of that, that's 76 body armor. So you're looking for between heavy Stormlander Knights, who do get a much better weapon with that Warhammer, I must say. But still, that's the difference in 13 body armor and a significant amount of leg armor as well. But and that's at the best case. The worst case is that they load out with one of those chainmail hauberks, where they're basically like a mounted sergeant who hits harder. Definitely no longer a believer in the Stormlander heavies. But we're not going to carry them around with us just so they die. But they're no longer going to be an objective. We're not going to try to be leveling up Stormlanders into those specifically, although we'll keep the ones we have in the pipeline going. And the thing to do now, of course, is to just try to recruit some more troops. Langward is back in action, so does Langward hate me, though? No, they don't hate me. So we get a bare few levies, and that'll have to do. And we're just going to hop by Rudiger, make Rudiger very nervous. And here we go. Someone attacked us. And he attacked a messenger. But the messenger was a rapist. Well, the messenger did deserve his fate. We're not going to kill the farmer's whole family. We'll just hang the farmer and call it quits for that. Because after all, you do have to defend the integrity of your messengers, even when they show precious little personal integrity. Maidenpool is under siege, that's right. And I might be able to save them. Is it worth doing, though? There are 715 people inside. Now, I am still significantly wounded, however. Maybe it would be worth doing. Let's see. There are 212 veteran longbowmen and 109 vanguard with 95 elites and 87 sergeants. All I have to do is not get injured. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be taking this fight, but we're going to go ahead and end this video now so that it can render in a timely manner. And until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.